Out here in California, we flush our turds down the toilet a little bit differently from the rest of the nation. Here in California, our toilets are mandated by government to flush at a flush rate of 1.28 gallons per flush. The rest of the nation has a flush rate of 1.6 gallons. Prior to this, back in the 80s, the average flush rate for a toilet, believe it or not, was 8 gallons per flush. Today, we're going to use this toilet flush rate analogy to alleviate some of the anxieties many people have over using 20 weight or 0W-20 oil in their Lexus GX460. Let's get right to the prattle, and that is this internet talk about how 20 weight oil like this is no good because essentially the 20 is too thin and it needs to be thicker in order to handle higher temperatures and handle the stress of extreme usage, this, that, and the other. Bottom line, 20 weight oil is too thin. The fact of the matter is there's simply no evidence. The majority of cars on the road today have 20 weight oil like this, and they're doing just fine. In fact, the Toyota Camry uses 16 weight oil, 0W-16. And in Japan, they're already using 0W-18 oil and 0W-8 oil. And that's coming soon to America. Now, a lot of people get freaked out because of this zero number, but that's just the winter weight. And the whole point of synthetic oil like this, when it came out, was to get rid of the winter weight factor. In other words, old oil like 5W-20, the 5 or the lighter winter weight was so it would flow better during a winter startup. Synthetic, and the whole point of synthetic was to get rid of that. So this zero shouldn't freak anybody out. So it only comes down to this 20 weight oil factor and the notion that the thicker protects more, the thicker is better, this, that, and the other. And a good way to think of it is to not think of it in terms of the thicker oil is better. Instead, kind of think of the inverse. Think of how the thicker oil was more wasteful. And as far as efficiency goes. And when I say efficiency, I just don't mean, well, it gets better miles per gallon, because the internet prattle says things like the bean counters only did it for, the miles per gallon, and that's the only reason. The age we live in today is all about efficiency. And in this case, yes, it does make better miles per gallon. But again, like I said, think of it as in the inverse, where the old 30 weights, 40 weights, and 50 weights that we used to have were actually wasteful. They were unnecessary. We didn't need to have such heavy weights. And that the engineers, both in the auto manufacturing industry and the oil industry, have fine-tuned and refined these lighter weight oils to be lighter and also protect just as much, if not more, like it says here, protects to 10,000 miles. And that's what manufacturers recommend. And so if you trust the science and trust the engineering behind it, it'll make sense. Heavier oil is not necessarily better. And again, like I keep saying, think of that, the old way of doing it, as wasteful instead of better. And the new way with these lighter oils as simply the advancement of human science and engineering. We see this not just in the automotive industry. Think of things like your refrigerator, your air conditioner. They used to, your old refrigerator used to slam on the compressor, used to just slam on, go full bore, waste a lot of electricity, and then it would shut off. And that was very wasteful. And through the current state of engineering and science to refine things and make them more efficient, they've actually made refrigerators cool better and use less electricity. They do this through DC inverted motors that vary the current to the refrigerator compressor, basically a variable state compressor. So it's using less electricity, but cooling just as much, if not better. Same thing with your air conditioner and your heat pump. When you cool and heat yourself today, instead of the old school air conditioner slamming on and off, wasting a bunch of power, again, we have a variable compressor that's more efficient and heats and cools better. So when it comes relating that to engine oil, it's the same thing. Scientists have looked at this, the old school 30 and 40 and 50 weight oil, and said, we don't need this. There's a better way to do this. And incidentally, they do have variable rate oil pumps in cars these days. And they fine-tune this to where this 20 weight oil simply works. And as I said, they're already doing 18, 12, and 8 weight oil, and that's just coming. It's just a matter of time before it comes to America, because that is the future. And they've tested it, torture tested it, and proven it to indeed work. We see with the Camry using 16 weight oil, it's done just fine. There's simply no evidence that these lighter weight oils fail or can't handle higher stresses and higher temperatures or being turbocharged or any of this sort of thing. There's simply no evidence. Instead, we see nearly every car using this stuff, and 20 weight oil has been around for a while, even in the regular. So just like the toilet analogy in the beginning, the name of the game with modern science, modern technology, and modern engineering is efficiency. It's not bean counters trying to be cheap or squeeze every little bit of efficiency. In some ways, it's fair to say that, yes, part of that is true. Yes, it is more efficient, but it's not efficient at the cost of durability. So just like the toilet analogy, the toilet still flushes, the drains don't clog up, everything's good to go. It's just simply better all around. That's the same idea. This is what engineers and scientists are up today. So fear not the 20 weight oil. It will protect. They put it in writing. Protects to 10,000 miles, and your manufacturer recommends that too, so fear not. So again, modern engineering revolves around the concept of refinement. You could argue that that's always been the case with engineering. It's just a matter of how the masses and the public perceive this refinement. As I stated, try not to think of these refinements as downgrades or a cheapening or a lessening, so to speak. Instead, think of the inverse, that the old way was wasteful, inefficient, and basically that, wasteful and inefficient. And that you're getting the best of both worlds. You're using less and you're getting improvements in performance. We see it across all sorts of engineering applications, this refinement based upon efficiency. And when we say efficiency, again, it's not just about bean counting and getting a few more miles per gallon. Yes, that is a benefit of lighter, thinner oils. But you're also getting the benefit of more power. You're also getting the benefit of increased wear protection, not less, but increased. And you're getting the benefit of more advanced oil technology. So it's a win-win all around. But you have to trust what the engineers have done, what they're doing, and you have to look at it in a, you have to not be nearsighted and look at the big picture and see that this is being done around the world. And we have millions of cars on the road, 20 weight oil, synthetic oil, and have no problems. You'd have to see millions of failures at the rate of cars that are on the road that are just fine with synthetic 20 weight oil. Found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you and have a great day.